arena, waiting for that air dribble at 0 seconds. It's the only option Northwood has. And now the only option Northwood has is to win out here. Concord getting on to another game win, putting this grand final, this fall championship for 2024 into their match point.
And once again, it's the least expected of the players to get them there. I cannot give enough compliments to the way Helix has played, whether both on offense or defense or in between. The jumps off the ceiling that we saw at the end to end the game. The fact that he has both a goal and an assist, 100% goal participation here in game number 5. I am blown away at the performance that this guy is pulling out. And honestly, I think Northwood is as well. The reason they are struggling here is they probably came in, again, expecting Samas and Crispy to be problems for them. And they have been. What they probably didn't expect is that even in those moments of reprieve, Helix comes out of nowhere and either demos you, jumps off the ceiling to pre-jump you, meets you for a 50, or is immediately there on the follow-up for goals. Concord, you have set the tone at this point. If Northwood want to beat you, they basically got to hit their peak. Question is, can they do it here on Neo Tokyo?
Northwood, our most recent open winners, but the thing is, this potentially could be the third different team to beat them in a grand final this season. Something that would be unthinkable to say in former semesters of CRL. And right now in Neo Tokyo, how many times have we seen heartbreak on this very map? This is the one where you feel like it's destiny to go the distance. They have to be able to bring it back, and they're just not able to. Concord are playing like they know that they are the favorites. And right now, I don't really think I can blame them, especially when Northwood starting to panic a little bit. Double commit to open us up on the first Concord attack.
Oh, and a couple of weird touches in a row, or lack thereof. I think the final one was probably a fake intentionally, but it's really only due to low boost. Northwood, not many chances or opportunities to start an offense from that play, and they will not start one instead. Back into their own half. Hockey awkward off the backboard, and I don't think he realizes he was the last one back. Cream's trying to retreat, but Hockey will bail him out instead. Already getting a little bit scary here for Northwood, but one good goal could erase that away. If they can just build some confidence with an early shot, it would do them wonders.
Oh, Hockey, I really like that decision to shoot that one low as both players went on the back wall, but they don't do that, and that's why you need players to be fully confident. Zanil almost giving away the counterattack, but gets the deflection into now another Northwood build-up. Creams, delayed flick, well met by Samas.
Helix, though, not a lot of boost here. I think he might have gotten a reset, which will afford him a 50, but will it give his team some offense? Not quite. Crispy again 50'd out, but is anybody there from Northwood to continue the play? Eventually, Zanil will fly in, and Helix really awkward, but no one expected that. He's been so steadfast on defense all day long. There was no way you expected him to just straight up miss.
Oh, Samas, seen a lot of players lose those 50s. This is exactly what Northwood is depending on, but no. The reads continue to be solid, rock solid, really, from Concord. Now just gotta hope it continues, because here comes Hockey with another 50. Deflection only lands in Crispy's lap up until Zanil steals that one right away. Honestly, every team is trying to start up these solo plays, but it's right before they get the reset, right before they get the deflection. That's when the challenge has to come in, and from both teams, they're timing them well.
Crispy trying to get something started here in the corner. He's got some boost to work with, but only a 50 to afford him space. And instead, the space now given back to Northwood as they boom it downfield. Samas, just a touch to the ceiling that I'm not really sure if either one of his teammates have much they can do with it. At least they can get a 50 to prevent the Northwood counter attack. And a couple of weird fakes in a row I don't think are going to do them any favors, because now Bream's time space taken away by CMOS on the challenge from behind him. And goodness, as soon as you think Northwood will get the one chance to finally get an offense together, and somebody from Concord is there to interfere.
Speaking of, Crispy gets in the way of that one, gets a reset, gets a low 50 as well. Zanil's got to be careful. He's been in some trouble before. Not only does he get the clear, but he puts it all the way back on the slow air dribble. Creams, I think, wanted to do assists, but the only thing he could think to do was go for the demo, which he does not get. So Northwood are going to have to think of a plan B, and supposedly this is it. Lob into Zanil, who does not want any part of that despite having a full tank.
Ooh, and an awkward touch from him out at midfield to not really contain this ball, and now just leave his team in an awkward defense. They only stay there for a couple seconds longer, though, as they immediately launch the counterattack, but can't get past midfield. Both teams starting to struggle to get past midfield with any sort of purpose. They'll get the touches to the other side of the pitch, but it won't really do much for them. Unfortunately, in games like this, Taco, it's usually one defensive error that ends up opening the goal and giving a team a chance. Could it be here? No, Helix planted on the backboard will not let it happen.
Not only that, but Helix gets the touch and then the full boost. Hockey chasing him down because he does not want to risk any player having an uncontested air dribble. That's a pass down into Samas. Crispy and him have been such a nice combo. And again, they always look for each other on those open touches. And Northwood has been thrown a little bit. They like to go back. They like to play patient, but there's no patience in these types of series. Bit of deflection. Think that might have been off their own teammate from Concord.
I don't know how Zanil got up to that one. I think he legitimately went, all right, if I can dodge the bump, maybe I can get a touch to at least put it off target. And my goodness, his full faith has absolutely been rewarded. Still, no goals on the board as we go into the final minute of what could be this entire CRL semester if Northwood are not careful. Reminder again, Concord just need this win to close the series. And Northwood are looking to fight back. Touch off the backboard. Zanil is there, and the shot is in! Northwood with the lead with under a minute to go.
I don't blame Helix for playing this. The problem is that jump was Cream's touch. He did not know where that needed to go. He put that right down the middle, and that's what happens. It's going to go right off your backboard and pound it on through. Zanil with the goal to make this a Game 7 in the grand finals, but that's, of course, assuming Concord doesn't have something to say about that. They have not been helpless on offense. It's mostly just been Northwood heroic on defense that has kept this one scoreless for our orange side.
And they'll need to be heroic once more. Double touch off the backboard, and Zima says we're not done yet!
Just because you make the read 100% of the time in free play doesn't mean you can always time it out well in the game. Creams looked like he had it. He's going for the lightest of touches, and he's a bit too late. Samas never gonna miss that one. 1-1, and we're right back to where we started here, where Northwood still searching for something. They gotta search for a lot more. What a save from Hockey! Another one on the goal line. Helix, the double, the dunk, the lead!
The third man steps up again. Try again, and eventually Helix will find the opening, the drop down, the dunk, the everything to put a cap on this series. 17 to go. This kickoff means everything.
It's not just the kickoff, it's what comes immediately after that's so important for Northwood. They need to make sure they don't go out too wide and save up that boost. Creams, high flick, Zanil in the ceiling. That's a great pass. Creams is sitting there for Hockey! At 5 seconds, Northwood refuse to die.
Everybody in this game is saying we're not done yet. Last second heroics on both teams might just send us to yet another overtime. I'll state it again though. Watch the kickoff. Anything can happen.
As long as there's time on the clock, there's a possibility for Zanil to do something wacky, but of course, he's gonna give it away. Samas says, how about one more chance? That's a crazy bounce, and it needs to be further away. Northwood needs one more to extend this one, and Concord needs one more to get the trophy for the fall semester.
Oh, that's not a great touch out center, and Creams has got to be careful. Hockey on low boost, and without his life at this point, set to the scrap heap, and they got to be careful, or just dunk it downfield. Zanil somehow escapes the scenario and gives Northwood an offense that, I'll be real, Taco, I didn't think they would ever find.
No, not at all. And this is where teams need to take a deep breath. This is not win or go home in the conventional sense where you need to rush. You can take your time. You can be like Zanil and wait for a perfect moment, but that doesn't go in. Cream's over the top. Helix, he has 0 boost, and so does Crispy. He at least gets a clear, but that's why Hockey is trying to make sure they force the issue, and he simply cannot. We're right back out to mid.
Great clear from Helix to just alleviate pressure and give his team some time now to breathe, and something I think they desperately need. Boost total still low here for everybody on Concord, but at least they survive for a second longer. Awkward touches from Hockey, or maybe the perfect pass out center, but Creams was not ready for it. Can at least get this touch through the corner, met immediately by 50 from Helix, and the bounce up high goes over Zanil. A lot of touches right now, just kind of going errantly. Can anybody find control? It won't be Crispy. No boost to follow that play up, and Concord, some more defense required.
The bounce from Creams, I like that a lot. It might give away, but it's such a weird bounce for Samas to deal with. Crispy didn't want any part of that one, and it doesn't even matter because even with no boost, Samas still going to march on down for Helix to be able to bounce that one for Creams to handle. Soft touch into the air dribble. Zanil waiting up for it. A deflection back, and Hockey, again, always a deep rotation just in case from Northwood.
Ooh, touch off the backboard. Is anybody prepared to receive it? Not really, but Hockey will at least contain it so Concord don't get the immediate counter. They'll go for one anyways, but Helix has no boost, so he's forced to retreat, and uh-oh, Creams That's not the pinch you wanted. It's given space. It's given a chance, and it's given him a chance at redemption as well. He will make up for his poor pinch, and maybe send us on our way. The pinch out I thought was on target.
Both teams having heart-stopping moments on defense where they're not 100% sure where that follow-up is going to go. Cream's trying to provide another one. He gets a reset. It's over Crispy with a bump. Samas there just in time. Hockey holding it up and does not get the most solid of contact, so here comes Helix over one, stealing that quarter boost, and I would say getting the bump, but Cream's able to evade in the last possible moment.
The way Creams is rotating around this pitch right now makes me think he's going to be the one to extend this series. He's been playing so fluidly, but Zanil would like to also get his team there. Hockey would like the shot and will find it denied by Crispy again. The last second heroics on defense come to the aid of everybody on Concord.
Cream's high lob, he's going to be able to get that 50, and it's propelled forward. Hockey, no touch. Crispy with zero boost to try to put all the power he can behind it, but it only goes so far as Zanil. Helix, again, low boost play, gets just enough of the front bumper. Concord playing with fumes in their gas tanks and still surviving.
They are surviving, but not thriving at the moment. They keep getting pressed back into defense, and although they will find these 100 pads and find themselves some boost to work with, they cannot seem to generate offense from it. All they need, though, is one good opportunity in overtime. It doesn't matter how many chances you get, as long as you score the one that counts. Could it be here? Touch off the backboard, up high. Helix and Samas both commit. Crispy's awkward. Can anybody get the shot? Here it is. It's off target. The follow denied, and Northwood leave their best chance at the table.
The crossbar, always the worst defender to have to deal with. It's so impenetrable. If the accuracy is not good, Crispy, does he have the speed? Concord are your full 2024 champs!
They dethroned the Kings. They proved Northwood. You said you were going to end it all. You said you would come back and not even take a loss. Guess what? 2 boys from EU and 1 from West Virginia had other opinions. Concord take the championship in a 3-minute overtime to end the series.
The confetti in the arena, you gotta buy it in bulk surplus because you know you're gonna have to use it if you're playing as well as they have. What an effort by Concord. They do it in 6, but it's the 7 saves by Helix, the singular non-pro player in this lobby that preserves this for them and delivers Concord in their first real effort with their new recruiting class, a semester champion.
I gotta say, Concord, it's gotta feel good. The singular player who was on this roster before they started was Helix. The single player that they built this team around. We have seen this in CRL before. We have seen teams that build it around that one player who they go, yeah, we know you don't have the accolades. We know you may not be the more familiar name in comparison to your teammates, but we trust in you. And that faith, that trust was absolutely rewarded. Helix, I do not care who disagrees with me on this. MVP for today, for the season, for Concord.
Really have to take their hats off. And I know we've been applauding them a lot, but you have no idea how often we see this archetype fail within a lot of this. Almost 800 points from Helix. Almost want to say Felix on that one. Helix coming in on this one. But the main thing is that we've seen this archetype of teams where they assemble 2 pros and then a third player, and typically the third is always the one you stare at. It's the easiest person to point the blame at, and a lot of players crumble under that pressure. Helix is fueled. We heard from him earlier in the interview that all he's got to do is play his game, not make mistakes. He wasn't just not making mistakes. He was propelling so much of the offense, so many clutch moments. And Bass, is there any singular thing better in esports than a team that plays their best when the pressure's at the highest?
Pressure makes diamonds, and I can tell you, Helix, he's shining oh so bright. It's not just the fact, again, that he was able to do so much about this series. Bro, he sent them to overtime. They would not have been even in this game had it not been for that second goal. And the fact of the matter is, the phenomenal defense at the end, plus this challenge, is what wins them this entire semester. Taco, I'm running out of compliments for this dude. The only thing I will say, again, I got cut off last time. I know I got time this time. If you are a semi-pro or pro team looking for a rookie on the rise, you have found him. His name is Helix, and he's ready to go.
And I would love to see that. I've also run out of descriptors, which is why we have two brains who've just been sitting back and watching in Vaudeville and Seb. Concord getting it done. Seb, you're barely holding on to your sanity right now.
I know, because, like, yes, I know I voted for Northwood, right? How can you not in this case? It seems like reality surrounds Northwood winning CL, but for the first time in how long? They didn't. And with it, Concord are our champions. I know, we don't have an official like MVP category, but I absolutely agree. Helix on a squad of RLCS Europeans is our MVP here. No doubt about it. I think every single one of these members contributed, but the X Factor was the one North American player who excelled far and beyond what was asked of him to help carry Concord on his back against the best team in CRL.
What a victory that was for Concord. I thought it would go in 6 if they took it, but I did not expect it to go almost the distance to 7 in quite a fashion. So many close games. 1 goal differential for the majority of it. I think every single game actually was a 1 goal differential until that last one. So insane performance from Concord to end off a historic run for their program. Underdogs no longer. They are the best team in Collegiate Rocket League until another season happens. And Northwood, they got to go back to the drawing board after this one. Maybe figure out some different strategies. Because again, 3rd time was the charm for Concord to come out on top here. Insane to see how this team was able to go through thick and thin and lost the last 2 times we saw them face off against Northwood. But this is the time where it mattered most and they showcased their skill to pay the bills at the end of the day. Northwood, though, I mean, they gave it their all. They didn't go down without a fight, and this is reminiscent to when we saw JD and Columbia College back in the day taking down Northwood way back when here, Taco.
Yeah, it was also on this map where we didn't see that defeat come through, and it's a rare moment that Northwood does lose, but now we are in this weird scenario where Northwood still has the confidence. We heard it from Creams, and I don't mean it to throw it back in his face, but he says, we'll see you again when we win, because that is what the usual expectation is. They have never lost to Concord. They have played them 3 times this season across all competitions. They have not even been brought the distance there. It's been 3-1, 3-1, 4-2, and then they finally get a chance, but it matters the most, and Concord plays, again, the best they've ever played. And I said it, this is what I love about esports, is when teams can play throughout the season. They start the season really strong. They don't really fully reach, I would say, their full potential. They're losing against Maryville, they're losing against Northwood, they're losing against occasional other squads, and we're not really seeing it. I don't think it's all coming together. They have a lot to work on. And then the playoffs start, and they just become God tier, I suppose. They're just that good. I love to see that, because the players are confident, and they're not only just saying that to be able to motivate themselves, it's true belief that they are really the best team in the bracket.
I want to point out real quick, one thing is that, yes, although West Virginia lost, right, the WVU, that is the West Virginia, one West Virginian team was still able to make it through. West Virginia won in the end. Country roads have indeed become the golden road.
West won CRL. I'm done. We win. Go!
Wow, we are really taking multiple steps to justify West. That's crazy.
Hey, look, West gets a little win. Their logo currently on socials is literally the one I drew. So technically we get a win a little bit, bro.
Sure,
technically.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm the biggest winner here, because I got the backpack Helix put his team in throughout that series. So yeah, the backpack he put them in currently. So thank you, Helix, for that one. But again, thank Concord for making this competitive in a historic season where Northwood has been the dominating force for quite some time. And this season proved that they are anything but. They got a single win in the final open, but apart from that, they were not able to be the ultimate victors, and this is what mattered the most here for this team. But we do have the entire roster of Concord with their coach, Johnny Boy, not the Johnny Boy you realize. And we have, I believe it is Simas on headset first. Gentlemen, congratulations on being the CRL Fall 2024 champions. I know this is kind of cliche, but how does it feel?
Obviously, feels good. Yeah. Honestly, couldn't be prouder of the guys, especially Helix. I didn't expect him to play that good, to be honest, but he's insane, bro. Like, props to him, you know.
I mean, when we look at this, when you come into this semester, I mean, obviously, y'all probably had an idea where Helix has been around for a while, but you have not. This is an inaugural season for you playing within a collegiate format within North America. Did you expect as one of those things where you say, hey, if I'm not at least in a grand final, I'm disappointed? Or was this just as the journey went on, you started to realize, wow, we actually really could go the distance here?
Yeah, we like started scrimming out the other teams, and we were like, we'll be happy with like top 6, top 8. But as we started improving, you know, I remember we played ISU for the first time, we got absolutely destroyed. But then after that, like we just started like playing so good against other teams, and then that's when we knew that we could really be the best team in North America.
I'm hard pressed to disagree at this point. You
Yeah.
guys are the best team.
They won.
You're the best team in the nation. You were the best team in CRL. And outside of that, I think the craziest thing to me is you are now, in my opinion, the clutchest team in Collegiate Rocket League, maybe history. The win you get during the Opens is 2 Game 7s in which you both win from the lower bracket. Then you come into today. Most people, I would say, unfortunately, had Maryville going through. You overcome that. Then you go against Northwood, the heavy favorites. You overcome that. I gotta ask you, Simas, are you the most clutch team in CRL history?
I mean, we're number 1, so we're clearly clutch. Yeah.
Well, guys, I don't think it's a secret that obviously Helix was such a huge part of this team. And I don't know in terms of if you want to put him on the mic or something, but in terms of how much Helix has been... Oh, okay, all right.
Here we go.
All right, Helix, our boy is on. Now, keep in mind, Helix, we, all of us, agree that you are the MVP for this. And how does it feel that even amongst RLCS level talent all around you, teammates who have done so much within the space, you are still able to elevate yourself to that level and beyond at points? How does that feel to do that and then eventually become the best collegiate team in Rocket League?
People, it's not all me. It's really all them. They help me out through everything. I have the talent. I just have to work that in and actually learn how to play threes around these guys, and they help out a lot. So, you know, I'm not too worried. Yeah.
There we go. I mean, short and simple, sweet, to the point from the team. And again, I mean, congratulations to you guys. Any final words, thoughts? Are you going back to back next time around?
Oh yeah, obvious.
Obviously.
Well, thank you guys for joining us here on the desk and competing this entire season of CRL. Thank you for being a part of this amazing open format that we've had for the first time. And congratulations yet again as being the victors for the CRL Fall 2024 Championship.
Thank you.
Give it up! Give it up! Everyone in that audience, give it up! Oh, what a time. What a time to be a fan of CRL, guys.
I mean, the stonks are up. they're always. I mean, I knew they would probably go up just because, yes, everyone's so excited to go back. We were also talking about before the season, all 4 of us, when we talk about just shop, I would say generally about CRL, we're saying, okay, we have to be mindful of this team, of this team, of this team, of this team, of this team. Oh my God, there's a lot of really good teams here. It shows out in our bracket. It showed out through all the 4 opens. But the fact that we do have a universe in which you do have multiple teams being able to go into these grand finals and stand toe to toe with the best that we've ever seen in the collegiate scene speaks so much. And it's not just all of the players who are getting org paychecks and going in, because I know that's a common thing people bring up and say, well, it's just all these players. Like, what about these like regular guys? Helix is a ranked grinder 2K legend, and he played arguably the best of any player all throughout this bracket.
What a bracket it was, too, for all these players. I mean, Concord, again, getting the victories at the end of the day. They went through the European gauntlet with St. Clair, then Maryville. Then we got to see them take down Northwood here at the end of the day. And I don't think anyone really could have predicted that Concord was going to be the ones coming out on top. A lot of us thought, it would be either Northwood, Maryville. Some of us joked about West Virginia potentially making that run since it's a single elimination bracket. But at the end of the day, they were the ultimate victors there. And what a run it was for them too. But still, talking about this team in Concord, they are the ultimate victors when it comes to this amazing event that we have seen from these players. And I feel like this is just a great way to show that it's not just one college out there anymore here, Bass, that is going to reign supreme. There's so many different teams outside of even Northwood and Concord that could have taken it at the end of the day.
I think that's what makes us continue to be not only so happy with this result, but also why we continue to state CRL is in the healthiest state it has ever been. Every team is capable of taking wins like this, and we proved that through 4 different teams winning in opens, not the team expected to win here in the grand finals, and on top of that, we had multiple upsets. Again, Concord over Maryville is seen as an upset. West Virginia over Akron is seen as an upset. This was a coin flip the whole weekend, and I think that's what makes this so exciting, is that any team, any university, college can put together a squad, compete in CRL, and if day is right, they can win it all. Again, massive shout out to Concord for not only winning this all, but you mentioned about this is a school of 2,000 students. A small university like that can still win CRL.
Yeah, again, I mean, shout out to the program that they have going on there. They have given it their all. I think this Concord roster is actually their first full ride team that they have for the esports program too. So they gave it their all to form this roster, to put their faith in them. And it's just a great group of people over there at Concord University. So shout out to them again. But as we talk about Concord here, Taco, do you want to do the honors of congratulating our champions for the final time?
I mean, I think we've congratulated them enough, but I would gladly be able to say congrats to Helix, to Samas, and Crispy for coming in for the first semester as a squad and being able to make the biggest of statements, being the fall 2024 semester champions and doing it with an assertive manner as well. Not even needing game 7. I thought it had to go to 7, and they were able to handle business within 6. I can't underestimate or really undersell just how impressive y'all have, these guys have been, just because obviously we can say this is the most competitive CRL's ever been. They've been consistent throughout, but they're like, that's the biggest thing. They get to those 3rd and 4th place spots, and they're not able to get to 1st until when it matters most.
Well, this has been a monumental and historic season, to say the least, for all the teams involved. Thank you all for participating in the Collegiate Rocket League scene for the fall season. Again, make sure in the CCA Discord you leave your feedback on format, anything else that you have thought, so we can improve things for the future. But I'm going to go down the line, starting with Seb and coming back to me before we end things off. Final thoughts, gentlemen, before we send things away for the season.
Just Collegiate Rocket League is a beautiful thing. It's legitimately something so unique within the space of Rocket League that we don't get to see too often. I always tout that it is the best collegiate esport on the planet, and I will hold to that until the day I die. What a beautiful ending that we have had for this fall season. It's just been an incredible run. It's been obviously a pleasure working with every one of you here. A pleasure to see the amazing performances that we've seen on this pitch on the Rocket League channel. And we can only hope for more CRL action next year.
Short and sweet. Love it. What about you, Bess?
Kind of echoing the same sentiments, man. I mean, one of the biggest things I have to mention here is that, again, CRL has been gone for a little while. The fact that it is now back and is back in full form really just instills confidence in both me and I think the scene that we're just getting started, man. For years, it has been the Northwood show, and there is occasionally teams that are able to contest. But again, we had 5 different chances at championships this semester. 4 of them were not won by Northwood. That is incredible. It sounds insane to even be hyping up a stat like that, but this is the healthiest I've seen CRL ever be. Through years of being involved with this, it is awesome to finally have this type of result, to feel this way. And again, I just have to echo what Seb said. I hope that we come back next semester and it is the same level of competition, the same insanity all over again.
Round us out, Taco.
I mean, that's all we have to say. All of us on the desk, we love CRL so much. We couldn't stop yapping about it that we tried to make a whole weekly show, try to recap things, because we know that the scene really does have a lot of dedicated players. You see the passion on broadcast. You see them in the Discord for CCA, or across all the CRL different events, all the different leagues. And so being able to bring it back, have a broadcast, to be able to showcase all the talent we have, it's only going to get better in the future as more and more universities start to understand that, yes, in Seb's word, this is the best collegiate esport. It's something that's so easy to assemble. You just need 3 really good players, but obviously the hard part, making them work well together. Congratulations again to Concord, to Northwood, to all the teams that are top 8, top 16, and beyond, because they really make this esport so great. It's such an honor to be able to talk through and over these games. And again, and just thank you to all the fans who tune in to be able to keep the esport alive, because it really is fueled by all the passionate people, both on the pitch, in the booth, and as well all the fans that are able to cheer on these players as they're having these blossoming careers to turn from collegiate into their future work life, or even beyond, potentially into the pro scene, as we've seen.
I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who made this a possibility as well. Like we were talking about, Blast and Epic and all the people at TCA in the background. I could name them all, but we'd be here the entire day, so I'll let them speak for themselves on social media later. But that is the final series of Collegiate Rocket League that we have for the year. Make sure you sign up for the off-season opens, because those are still going on. A lot of Rocket League action still happening in the scene with some off-season events, so make sure you participate and watch those as well to support this great esport that we all love and know. I've been Vaudable. We've had Bass from the Past, Danger Chaco, and Seb, as well as Chixa Novanta. Shout out as well to Kendo, who's made this all possible for us. And thank you all for tuning in to Collegiate Rocket League for the fall season of 2024. And we'll see you next time.
Comes from nowhere, makes you wonder if you lost control. Leaves you breathless, changes what you think is possible. Got me too, brought me to you. It's got you too. Your magic's true. Your magic's true.